Hello and welcome to Borthakur's IAS Academy. So June 1, 2 and 3 dated compilation will be discussed today in important daily current affairs news analysis. Agote jane kosilu we'll focus on the mains topic first, then we'll go to the prelims topic at the later stage. So june eta prelims comes mains karone preparation kori ase telokar karone bahut easy hobo a PPT to ba a gute lecture to ba nahole june eta mains likhibo APSC karone special focus dia hoise mains students khini karone june mains dibo jeneke moi koloi matro telokar karone bahut besi useful hoy. So kindly sabo aru answers bilak comment section ot likhibo aru jeneke apnaloke pothai ase answers bilak in the official mail of Borthakur IAS Academy heneke pothai thakibo. So let's come to the topic now. So the first important topic what I'll discuss for the mains is the American Chinese defense officials wants eagerly for influence in Asia Pacific. So etia kotha to important kotha to hoise ki je America aru China they wants to come to a very big strategic partnership. Jot neki teoloke gute Asia Pacific or juntu territory ase ba region ase tat teoloke influence gather koribo karone try kori ase aru junbilak amar Asia Pacific or junbilak amar countries ase he country belake ei bostu to olop critically saise karon jihetu ami janu je America aru China mane iman heri nohoy mane ekeloge teolokor iman ta bhal eta relationship nai kintu holeu diplomatic weight ba diplomatic style ot বা ডিপ্লোমেট যদি আমি ডিপ্লোমেসি সাব কাৰণে যাও সো এটো বহুত বেছি ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট এতিয়া মানে ফোকাস চলি আছে গুটে এটো ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট আৰ্টিকেল সো এতিয়া ইয়াত অস্ট্রেলিয়ান প্ৰাইম মিনিষ্টাৰৰ কথা কোৱা হৈছে তো অস্ট্রেলিয়ান প্ৰাইম মিনিষ্টাৰ Anthony Albanese is to give the keynote address on Friday evening to open the dialogue at the Shangri-La Hotel hosted by its International Institute for Strategic Studies think tank. Bahut besi important Australia has angered Beijing majote Australia aru Beijing or logot olop kiba ta songhorsho hoisile because of a agreement with Britain and the US. So yet ei gute kohatu hoy ase known as the AUKUS, very important for prelims point of view, to obtain nuclear power submarines to address the perceived rising threat from China. So itia kotha to hoise ki je amar junbilak South Asian countries bilak ase ba Pacific Asia Pacific country bilak ase so ei gutei country bilake ei juntu partnership agreement juntu itia America China logot kori ase ei bostu to deal koribo karone olop belek dhorne critically teoloke saise juntu ei article to mention kora hoise aru itia ami dekha paisu jeneke moi agote kolu ki je China aru America they wants a good relationship for a sustainable development purpose what they have said in this article. So let's move to the next slide now. So yar gutei bostu tu bhalke dekhai dia hoise je mane keneke gutei issue tu keneke Asia Pacific country belake deal koribo specifically Australia keneke deal koribo jihetu Australia logot moi janai kolu je bole eta bahut besi tension ta hoy ase mane Beijing or logot. So Australia also is a very strategic important partner in alliance with America aru jihetu ami janu je bole Australia logot Britain or eta khub bhal সম্পর্ক আছে কারণ এটো এটা ডমিনেন্স হয় বা ইটস a dominion বলি আমি কও of the monarchy of the England or UK. So ei gutei bostu to diplomatic weight bahut besi soa hoise America aru China r falor pora. So yat amar perspective to amar question kiniko dhonor yat ahibo pare. So hetu level ami besi concern hobo paru amar APSC mains ot ba UPSC mains ot. So yar karone question ta frame kora hoise eto international relations IR aru diplomacy paper jot amar topics bilak tar pora amar die tar karone bahut besi important comment on India's stand over any future insecurities faced by Australia. So ami khodai jeneke agote mo koisu ami khodai topics bilak ba current affairs bilak India perspective ot sabo lage. So America aru juntu China juntu tai hobo kane goi ase so ei juntu tai etu keneke India sabo ba Asia Pacific or junbilak countries or jeneke repercussion bilak jodi hobo pare jodi hoy so ei repercussion bilak keneke amar India sabo hetuk lepelai khub besi important mane situation hoy ase ekane question to dia hoise jeneke apnaloke question bilak amule pothai ase moi check kori pelai di asu heneke kindly question to answer koribo in around 200 words and please send it to me or also you can write down in the comment section below. So it's a very important article, kindly go through it and please download the PDF also. Okay, thank you. So let's move to the next topic now. India's position on Ukraine, a calculative strategy. So it is very important মানে যোনটো ইণ্ডিয়াৰ পজিশন অন ইউক্ৰেইনিয়ান ৱাৰ যোন মানে ইণ্ডিয়াই আমাৰ কি কৈ আছে ইণ্ডিয়াই কৈ আছে যে ডিপ্লোমেসি থ্ৰু দি পেলাই টক্স থ্ৰু দি পেলাই গোটেই ৱাৰটো কথা পাতিব লাগে কাৰণ এটা কথা সবতকৈ ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট কথাটো হ'ল যে ইণ্ডিয়া আৰু ৰাছিয়া আমি যদি চাব কাৰণে যাওঁ ইণ্ডিয়া আৰু ৰাছিয়া আগৰ পৰাই বহুত ভাল ফ্ৰেণ্ড হয় কিন্তু ইণ্ডিয়াৰ যোনটো ষ্টেণ্ড অন ইউক্ৰেইন যে ৰাছিয়াৰ ইনভেজন যোনটো ইউক্ৰেইনত হৈ আছে সেই ইউক্ৰেইনিয়ান ক্ৰাইচিছৰ যোনটো মানে পইণ্ট এতিয়া আমি কথা পাতি আছোঁ সেইটোক লৈ পেলাই ইণ্ডিয়াই প্ৰেছাৰাইজ কৰি আছে ৰাছিয়াক হওক বা বেলেগ অন্যান্য কাণ্ট্ৰিবিলাকত হওক G7 সামিটতো আমি লাষ্ট কাৰেণ্ট এফেয়াৰ্ছত আমি দেখা পালোঁ যে ইণ্ডিয়াই প্ৰেছাৰাইজ কৰিছে জেলেনস্কিক যে ইউক্ৰেইনিয়ান প্ৰেচিডেণ্টক কৈছে যে থ্ৰু ডিপ্ল'মেটিক টক্স তোমালোকে গোটেই যোনটো প্ৰব্লেম হৈ আছে এইটো হেৰি কৰা ৰিজলভ কৰা আৰু ইয়াত কথা কিছুমান বহুত বেছি ইণ্টাৰনেল কথা কিছুমান আছে কথাটো হ'ল India's position on the ongoing conflict in Ukraine reflects a calculation of its strategic interest. A Singapore-based think tank said recently and has pointed out that excessive reliance on Russian arms could curtail New Delhi's strategic autonomy with respect to China. আমি জানো যে ইণ্ডিয়াই বহুত বেছি weapons, arms, ammunitions ৰাছিয়াৰ পৰা আমি কালেক্ট কৰোঁ বা আমি ৰাছিয়াৰ পৰা ইম্পৰ্ট কৰোঁ সো বহুত বেছি ডিপেণ্ডেন্স যদি আমাৰ হয় মানে যোনটো সিংগাপুৰ বেস্ট থিংক ট্যাঙ্কে কৈছে যদি বহুত বেছি ডিপেণ্ডেন্স হয় ইণ্ডিয়াৰ তেনেহ'লে ৰিলেশ্যনশ্বিপত অলপ প্ৰব্লেম হ'ব পাৰে মানে যোনটো নিউ দিল্লীৰ ষ্ট্ৰেটেজিক অট'নমি আছে উইথ ৰেছপেক্ট টু চাইনা এইটো অলপ কমি যাব পাৰে এইটোৰ ওপৰত এই গোটেই আৰ্টিকেলটো দ্য ইউক্ৰেইনিয়ান ৱাৰ হুইচ বিগেন উইথ ৰাছিয়াছ মিলিটাৰী ইনভেজন যোৱা বছৰ 25 February has a far-reaching impact on the global energy system. Sensing the opportunity, India's position on Ukraine a calculated strategic interest. India has been snapping up crude from Moscow. Both very important. Snapping crude from Moscow at discounted rate. Both kom damot crude oil tapal waha refining and reselling it, stated International Institute of Strategic Studies. It बहुत बेसी important. माने आमी कहने crude oil लाऊं. So India and Russia share some common geopolitical assumptions, including support for a future multipolar global order featuring a less dominant US. माने কথাটো হৈছে কি যে যেতিয়া কোল্ড ওয়াৰৰ সময় আছিল যেতিয়া কোল্ড ওয়াৰ চলি আছিল 1970 চনৰ পৰা যেতিয়া কোল্ড ওয়াৰটো আৰম্ভ হৈছিল আৰু যেতিয়া হাম্বল বিগিনিং হৈছিল কোল্ড ওয়াৰৰ সেইটো সময়ৰ পৰাই ৰাছিয়াই সদায় এটা ডমিনেন্ট পজিশন হ'ব কাৰণে বিচাৰি আছিল পৃথিৱীৰ ভিতৰত আৰু আমেৰিকাও সেই সময়তে ডমিনেন্ট পজিশন গেইন কৰিব কাৰণে ট্ৰাই কৰি আছিল কিন্তু আলটিমেটলি যেতিয়া ডিসইন্টিগ্ৰেশন অফ USSR হ'ল যেতিয়া সোভিয়েট ইউনিয়ন ভাঙি গ'ল 1991ত সেই সময়টোত আমেৰিকাই সুপাৰ পাৱাৰ হিচাপত ৰাইজ কৰিলে আৰু যোনটো এতিয়া আমি যোনটো ৰাছিয়া বুলি কওঁ সেই ৰাছিয়াও বহুতখিনি ক্ষেত্ৰত মানে কমি গ'ল আৰু সেইটো সময়ৰ কথাটো কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ আছিল কিন্তু এতিয়া যদি আমি চাব কাৰণে যাওঁ এতিয়া চাইনা ইজ এভাৰ ৰাইজিং এণ্ড চাইনিজ ইকনমি ইজ এভাৰ গ্ৰোইং সো ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট কথাটো হ'ল যে ইয়াত যোনটো কথা কোৱা হৈছে যে মানে এতিয়া ইণ্ডিয়াৰ এটা বহুত ষ্ট্ৰেটেজিক মানে ষ্ট্ৰেটেজিক্যালি ইণ্ডিয়া কথাবিলাক ভাবে যে মানে যদি ৰাছিয়াৰ লগত ইণ্ডিয়াৰ খুব ভাল টাই থাকে তেতিয়াহ'লে ইণ্ডিয়া আৰু ৰাছিয়া কেতিয়াবা গ্লোবেল পাৱাৰ হিচাপত তেওঁলোকে ইমাৰ্জ কৰিব পাৰে কিন্তু এই বস্তুটোক সিংগাপুৰ বেস্ড থিংক ট্যাঙ্ক যোনটো মই কৈছোঁ has recently pointed out that excessive reliance on Russian arms যিহেতু আমি বহুত বেছি ইম্পৰ্ট কৰোঁ could curtail Delhi's strategic autonomy with respect to China. So এই আৰ্টিকেলটোৱে India's calculative strategies, India's calculative positions on the Ukrainian war লৈ পেলাই ডিসকাস কৰা হৈছে and Indo-Russia বা India's relationship with Russia is very much important for your main topics. So let us go to the next slide. So etur upor koa hoise Russia had been steadily providing arms to India. A future confrontation with China would be especially challenging for India without the supplies of Russian arms. It said, viewed from New Delhi, any Russian defeat in Ukraine would likely to push Moscow and Beijing together. বহুত বেছি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট কাৰণ G7 সামিটত বহুত বেছি ওয়েস্টাৰ্ণ কাণ্ট্ৰিবিলাকে চাইনাক প্ৰেছাৰাইজ কৰিছে যে আপোনালোকে ৰাছিয়াক কওক যাতে ইউক্ৰেইনৰ যোনটো ক্ৰাইচিছ হৈ আছে এই বস্তুটো যাতে খতম কৰিব লাগে আৰু সেই কথাটোৰ কাৰণে এইটো বহুত বেছি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট কথা এটা ইয়াৰ ষ্টেটমেণ্টত দিয়া হৈছে viewed from New Delhi, any Russian defeat in Ukraine would likely to push Moscow and Beijing together. আৰু মস্কো আৰু বেজিং টুগেডাৰ হ'লে যিহেতু বেজিঙৰ লগত বা চাইনাৰ লগত আমাৰ ৰিলেশ্যনশ্বিপটো ইমানটা ঠিক নহয় বিকজ অফ চাইনাজ ইনট্ৰুচিভ পলিচিজ বা চাইনা যোনবিলাক আমাৰ আগ্ৰাসন হয় বা চাইনাৰ যোনবিলাক বৰ্ডাৰ কনফ্লিক্ট হয় যিহেতু চাইনাৰ লগত আমাৰ ইমান ঠিক নহয় যদি মস্কো আৰু বেজিং যদি টুগেডাৰ হৈ যায় আৰু যিহেতু আমি দেখিছোঁ সিদিনাখন আমি কাৰেণ্ট এফেয়াৰ্ছত ডিছকাছ কৰিছোঁ মস্কো আৰু বেজিং বহুত ওচৰলৈ আহিছে কথা পাতিবৰ কাৰণে তেওঁলোকে বিচাৰিছে কাৰণ বেজিঙে সিদিনাখন এটা স্টেটমেন্ট দিছে চাইনা এটা স্টেটমেন্ট দিছে যে মানে যেহেতু ওয়েস্টে ইমানখিনি প্ৰেছাৰাইজ কৰি আছে বেজিঙক যে ইউক্ৰেইনক মানে ৰাছিয়াক ক'ব লাগে যে ইউক্ৰেইনৰ ৱাৰ খতম কৰিবৰ কাৰণে তেতিয়া চাইনাই কৈছে যে আমি যদি মানে ৰাছিয়াক যদি মই ক'ব কাৰণে যাওঁ তেতিয়াহ'লে আল্টিমেটলি কি হ'ব আল্টিমেটলি চাইনাৰ আৰু ৰাছিয়াৰ ৰিলেশ্যনশ্বিপটো ভাল হ'ব কাৰণ কথা বতৰা বেছি যেতিয়া পাতা হ'ব চাইনা আৰু ৰাছিয়াই তেতিয়াহ'লে কথা মানে বহুত ভাল ৰিলেশ্যনশ্বিপ এটা হ'ব আৰু যোনটো এটা মানে পেছিভলি ৱেষ্টাৰ্ণ কাণ্ট্ৰিজবিলাকে চাইনাক প্ৰেছাৰ দি থকাৰ কাৰণে যোনটো বস্তু আমি দেখা পাওঁ চ' ইণ্ডিয়াও বহুত বেছি ষ্ট্ৰেটেজিকেলি কথাটো ভাবিছে আৰু সেই কাৰণে ইণ্ডিয়াই সদায় ইউক্ৰেইনিয়ান ৱাৰ যোনটো ৰাছিয়াক বন্ধ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে কৈছে সেইটো সদায় ডিপ্ল'মেটিক টক্স বা ডিপ্ল'মেটিক ডায়লগছ দি পেলাই ইণ্ডিয়াই সদায় খতম কৰিবৰ কাৰণে কৈছে মানে চ' সেই বস্তুটো ইণ্ডিয়াই আমি জানো যে সদায় ডিপ্ল'মেচিত বিলিভ কৰে ইণ্ডিয়াই সদায় নন ভায়লেন্স বা ট্ৰিটি মানে পলিচিজ লাইক পঞ্চশীল সেইবিলাক ইণ্ডিয়াই বিলিভ কৰে চ' ইণ্ডিয়াজ ষ্টেণ্ড ইজ ভেৰি ভেৰি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট ইন Russia and Ukraine crisis. So, at a question diya hoise mains or karne specifically for your mains examination. Discuss India-Russia relations with respect to Ukrainian crisis. 200 words. So, please write down. This is again a topic from your IR and diplomacy paper. Very, very important. Or eniko dhoroner question they can ask you in your Viva examinations also, which is very, very important. So, now let us move to the next slide or the next topic. So, yeah, the important next topic to hol amar since Galwan crisis jonto bahut beshi important crisis ami dekha paisilu steps taken to have credible deterrence in that area IAF chief e koise see Indian Air Force Chief Marshal june koise recently that IAF is fully aware of the developments that are taking place across the northern borders and asserted that since the Galwan Valley crisis in 2020 the force is continuously upgrading its capabilities and changing tactics to be able to handle any kind of threat moi recently Indo China eta diplomacy report kisuman crisp concept disu please see in the comment section below and see that article see that video very first so that you can understand what about India and China's relationship so yet IAF chief e koise je bole teoloke gutei military junto teolokor developments hekini bahut beshi upgrade kori ase jate agor nisna crisis amar ketio hobo noare so etur report level etu important article aru etu article internal security falor para bahut beshi important internal security amar eta topic ase ek topic to falor para bahut beshi important so mains or karone ei topic to bahut beshi important the ties between the two countries nosedived significantly following the fierce clash in the Galwan Valley in June 2020 that marked the most serious military conflict between the two sides in decades. China uporot moi junto video discuss koriso tar kisuman crisp points diso so please video to agote sabo sai pelai eniko dhonor articles bilak porile internal security uporot you can answer any kind of questions asked by APSC or UPSC so now let us move to the next topic. So this is again the same topic. We are always at 24/7 readiness. Our armed forces ba our Indian Army, Indian Air Force, Indian Navy they are always ready. So etur report kotha to koise. So jeneke jodi kisuman crisis dholok jodi eneko dhonor crisis kisuman ahe jeneko Galwan crisis hoisile heneko crisis bilak jodi amar ahe tetia hole amar troops ba amar junkhini military ase they are very much ready aru Indian Air Force bahut beshi ready hoy ase hetuk loi pele etu article discuss kora hoise so yet an important question dia hoise discuss the threats posed by India due to its Chinese intrusive policies with example again please write down in 200 words and please send it to me or write down in the comment section below again it's a very important topic for your internal security and international relations or diplomacy part so please write down and please send me the answers let's move to the next topic now very very important topic from today's Hindus newspaper amend law to make necrophilia an offense says High Court very important term necrophilia question ahibo pare mains ot what do you understand by necrophilia question ahibo pare prelims ot what is the correct option for necrophilia see necrophilia is like observing necrophilia is like having unnatural sex or unnatural intercourse with dead bodies very important observation taken by the High Court of Karnataka which is like observing that the attendants appointed to guard the bodies in mortuaries of many government and private hospitals indulge in sexual intercourse on the bodies the High Court of Karnataka has recommended that the union government amend the Indian Penal Code to bring necrophilia under the definition of offense of unnatural sex or introduce new provisions in the IPC to make necrophilia an offense very very important so this article talks about necrophilia and the problems which is being faced by the bodies in the mortuaries, this has taken the courts has taken the cognizance and they have observed in a very critical way. So a article to necrophilia report comment korise ba discuss korise. So necrophilia questions you can expect in your mains examination as well as you can expect in your prelims examination. We can see something referring to laws in the UK, Canada, New Zealand and South Africa where necrophilia is an offense. The court said, unfortunately in India, no specific legislation is enacted, including under the provisions of IPC for the purpose of upholding dignity and protecting rights and crime against the body of the women. Very, very clear observation is this one. A division bench comprising of justice, this one, has passed the order while acquitting a person from the charges of raping a 25-year-old woman after murdering her. The trial court in Tumakuru had convicted him for murder and sexually assaulting her body after murdering her. Though the High Court confirmed his conviction for murder, it set aside the conviction on the charges of rape while pointing out that the act of sexual assault on the dead body cannot be termed as rape under section 377 unnatural sex and 376 rape of the Indian Penal Code. Very important observation, and you should know certain provisions of the Indian Penal Code, because when you join tomorrow as ACS officers or IAS officers, some basic laws like CRPC, CPC and IPC, these are very much important for your day-to-day activities as a civil servant. So necrophilia is very important. So now let's move to the next slide. See, unfortunately, these provisions of the IPC do not include the term dead body. Very, very important. The bench said that while pointing out that the necrophilia does not attract the provisions of rape under section 376 of the IPC, it is high time that the union government, in order to maintain the right to dignity of the dead person of women, amend the provision of section 377 of IPC. Very important section. So important kohatu koise kise to amend the provisions of section 377 of IPC to include body of any man, women or animal, or introduce a separate provisions as offense against dead women as necrophilia or sadism. Very, very important. Please see this section, very important, of Indian Penal Code, as has been done in other countries to ensure dignity of the dead person, including women, the bench observed. So yet morgor kotha kisuman koise je mortuary belakok monitor koribo karone koise cameras di pelai ba highly efficient staff di pelai. So etuk loi pelai gute article to necrophilia. So prelims or mains karone bahut beshi important, prelims karone important, mains karone bahut beshi important. So mains question to hol discuss on the urgency to make necrophilia an offense. So in 150 words you please write down and you please send it to me. So yet social, economic, jane ke agote amo discuss korisu, social aspects, economic aspects and political aspects. Ami ei tinta aspect a important concept of necrophilia ami di pelai ami answer to frame koribo lagibo. So now let's move to the next topic. Prelims oriented now. Now let's come to the topic which are very important for your prelims examination. State witnesses deficit in rainfall in pre-monsoon season. So it's very important. Pre-monsoon, what exactly do you mean by pre-monsoon is very, very important for your examination. What is monsoon and what is El Nino and La Nina is very, very important. Kisuman ami dekha paisu je bole this year in May East and Northeast India has received bahut kom rainfall ami paisu, which is third lowest since 1901. Our temperature bahut beshi high increase hoise. Maximum temperature during the month was above normal by 4.4 degrees Celsius, mainly over most parts of North India and East and Northeast India and coastal parts of India. And in the Indian Meteorological Department analysis said bahut beshi important. So ami etu geography phalor fra geography junto amar topic ase, geography paper ase, so tar phalor pra ami monsoon monsoon winds ba amar junblak climate change hetur phalor pra bahut beshi important. So etu prelims or topic hoy aru mains or karone khodibo pare climate change or topics ot juntu bostu moi agor current affairs otu discuss korisu. So please see this topic very well. So yet again koa hoise je bole the city on Friday recorded imankini 37.8 degrees Celsius, which was the 6th highest June temperature recorded. So ebelak junbilak ghotona hoye ase je bahut beshi gorom hoise pre monsoon. So ebelak asolte climate change karone hoise ba junbilak amar effect kisuman geographical effect hoye ase janeke mane El Nino karone hoise ba world of junbilak problem amar hoye ase. So ei gute article to ebelak kotha discuss korise. So ei temperatures bilak kihor karone increase hoise, etu bahut beshi important topic for your mains examination. So kindly go through this topic again. Again, a very important topic, law panel backs sedition law. The Law Commission has proposed retaining the penal provision for the offence of sedition, saying repealing it at all together can have serious effect ramifications for the security and integrity of the country, prompting a pushback by the Congress amid government assertion that the recommendations were persuasive and not binding. A very important law panel again backs the sedition law. They wants that the sedition law, which is in force, has to be as the same par. So section 124A of the Indian Penal Code, again very important article for your prelims examination. Section 124A of the Indian Penal Code, dealing with sedition, very important for your prelims point of view, is at present under abeyance following directions of the Supreme Court issued in May 2022. Amid allegations of misuse, there has been demands for repeal of the provision. The commission had said that sedition, being a colonial legacy, is not a valid ground for its repeal. Very important. So law panel backs sedition law, very important. What do you mean by sedition law? What are the section dealing with sedition in India in the Indian Penal Code? These are very much important for your mains as well as specifically for your prelims examination. So a very important article again, tropical storm Mawar, very important prelims point of view, intensifies rains for Japan. Heavy rains intensified by tropical storm Mawar fell on Japan's main archipelago on Friday, halting trains and transit and threatening floods and mudslides in central and western regions, while residents were urged to use caution. Warnings were issued in parts of western and central Japan with up to 25 centimeters of rain forecast through the Saturday evening. So very important again for your prelims examination, tropical storm, name Mawar. So very important for your prelims examination. So etur upor discuss kora hoise. Tropical storm Mawar intensifies rain for Japan, residents in vulnerable area including those in Mai, Wakayama, Aichi and Shizuoka prefectures in central Japan were warned of the potential flooding and mudslides and advised to go to evacuation center if possible. Very important for your prelims point of view. So please see this article very nicely. BRICS speeches, very important article again. BRICS koise je you please use the local currencies in international trade. So a very important article for your prelims examination. The BRICS nations on Friday underlined the need for using local currencies in international trade and financial transactions, besides committing themselves to supporting rule-based, open and transparent global trade. So बहुत बेसी important article कोनটো organization ने कैसे एटो prelims और आहिबो पारे. The option is BRICS. आरु mains तो यार पर question आहिबो पारे जे माने केनेको धৰণৰ local currency বা local currency use करिले BRICS और BRICS nation बिलाকৰ কাৰণে কি সুবিধা হ'ব বা ইণ্ডিয়াৰ কাৰণে কি সুবিধা হ'ব. So এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ questions কিছুমান mains ইহঁতে frame কৰিব পাৰে APSC বা UPSC. So please go through this article very nicely, and it's very important for your prelims as well as mains examination. See, World No Tobacco Day again, very important. So eto article discuss korise about World No Tobacco Day. So eto kun dinakhon celebrate kora hoy, the World No Tobacco Day on May 21st it is being celebrated. So eto article porhile you will be able to know it, what exactly is the harmful effects of tobacco on human health. The Northeast Cancer Hospital Research Institute, Jorhat, also observed No Tobacco Day with great enthusiasm. Very important, World No Tobacco Day ahibo pare prelims. So please go through this article. Banijya Divas observed at Jorhat Technical Institute. Very important again, Banijya Divas and all. So ebilak kisuman naam prelims question teoloke koribo pare. So kindly go through this article again. Banijya Divas was observed at the Prince of Wales Institute of Engineering and Technology, Jorhat, on Tuesday to commemorate the 100th death anniversary of South Bholanath Borwa. Very important. So please go through this article. It's very important for your prelims examination and from prelims point of view. IIT Guwahati achieved 6th ranked in affordable and clean energy in Times ranking. Very important. The IIT Guwahati has achieved the 6th rank in the SDG 7 affordable and clean energy in the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings 2023. So yetu question prelims or ahibo pare kun institute ba kun college e paisa IIT Guwahati aru kiman rank 6th ranked aru in affordable and clean energy. So please go through this article about IIT Guwahati and its achievements. Okay, so it's very important. Important article again, India carries out successful training launch of Agni 1 ballistic missile. So Agni 1 question ahibo pare India today carried out a successful training launch of the Agni-1 ballistic missile that validated all operational and technical parameters of the strategic weapon. So बहुत बेसी important. So Agni-1 or report question आहिबो पारे, Agni-3 report question आहिबो पारे. So एबेलाक ballistic missile report question आहिबो पारे. So India kuntu weapon recently ballistic missile test करिसे तो तार ऊपर prelims or question आहिबो पारे. आरो mains or फाলৰ পৰা science and tech फाলৰ পৰা, from mains science and tech you can get what do you mean by ballistic missiles, what do you mean by certain important deterrents used in strategic warfare tactics, which you can have in your mains examination as questions. So this is very much important. In the last 2 decades, India had been focusing on enhancing its strategic deterrent capability by developing various ballistic missiles. So ballistic missile mane ki, they can ask you again in the science and tech part of the mains examination. Precision guided multi-neons and related platforms, India has developed various variants of Agni series of missiles. So Agni series of missiles, please go through it. It's very much important, and ballistic missiles. It's very much important for your prelims as well as mains examination point of view. So what is ballistic missiles now? A ballistic missile is a type of missile that uses projectile motion to deliver warheads on a target. Projectile motion to deliver warheads on a target. Mane, when the missile, it takes a projectile motion to deliver, suppose this is the target, it attacks this target. So it's very much important. These weapons are powered only during relatively brief periods where most of the flight is unpowered. The short-range ballistic missiles stay within the Earth's atmosphere, while intercontinental ballistic missiles (ICBMs) are launched on a suborbital flight. Very, very important for science and tech part. Please go through this. It's important for your mains as well as for your prelims examination. Unlike cruise missiles, which are restricted to the atmosphere, ballistic missiles can avoid the denser parts of the atmosphere and may travel above the atmosphere into outer space. So statement question dibo pare prelims or statement question dibo pare. So please tomalake a ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, Agni eblakor uporot please bhalke poriba jate jikono questions yara put forward korile you can able to answer it. Kisuman list of quasi ballistic missiles of India as a report of 2020. It's KN-23, Shaurya, Active and Pralay. So these are the examples what I have given in this PPT. So this was all for mains comes prelims of June 1, 2 and 3. So thank you very much. Subscribe to Borthakur's IAS Academy's YouTube channel. Also download the PDF and join the WhatsApp group, link in the description. Please follow my videos and also please follow on the Indo-China CRIS concepts what I have given in the comment section below. Thank you very much. Stay healthy.